Personally, I have tons of nostalgia for Looney Tunes. My introduction was through this DVD box set that my parents would play in one of those minivan TVs during long road trips. I liked them then, and I like them even more now. Sometimes there will be a short that I found moderately funny as a kid, but then I'll rewatch it now and find it hilarious. So, I'm going to talk about the most revolutionary animated comedy series of all time, Looney Tunes. First, let's talk about the history of this franchise. Looney Tunes began as a short film series in 1930 created by Hugh Harman and Rudolph Ising. In fact, the vast majority of Looney Tunes cartoons were short films played in theaters. When Looney Tunes first started, the main character in the shorts was Bosco, the Talk Inc. kid. Wait a second, this is blackface, isn't it? Bosco was discontinued in the Looney Tunes roster in 1933, and the character that replaced him wasn't an improvement. Buddy was the next main character for Looney Tunes, who was discontinued in 1935. Side note, the first appearance of Buddy in the short Buddy's Day Out was so bad that the director of the short, Tom Palmer, was fired. I just thought that was pretty amusing. However, the next replacement was when the Looney Tunes team struck gold. Porky Pig is essentially the everyman. Now, Bosco and Buddy were also traditional everyman type characters, but they were also just ripoffs of Mickey Mouse. Like, Bosco and Buddy were just happy all the damn time. On the other hand, Porky Pig had much more range. Porky could be happy, sad, angry, and scared. So, now that Looney Tunes had a popular character on their hands, it was time to add more. Soon, Looney Tunes developed a variety of distinct characters that we all know today.
It's hard for people to understand who watch actors to realize that actors come with an ability. They played other parts. They have some background. When you bring in a drawing, all you have is a drawing, and you have to put in the characters.
I'm not going to touch on them all, but I will talk about the main ones. There's the Coyote and Roadrunner, a silent cat and mouse type duo, where the Coyote is constantly trying to capture the Roadrunner but always fails.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep. Meep, meep.
There's Elmer Fudd, a bald man who tries to be tough and masculine but is too soft to do so.
Shoot me again! I enjoy it! I love the smell of burnt feathers, and gunpowder, and cordite! I'm an elk! Shoot me! Go on! It's elk season! I'm a fiddler crab! Why don't you shoot me? It's fiddler crab season!
There's Foghorn Leghorn, a rooster who tries to be smart and a role model but is too dim-witted to do so.
3, 2, 1, oh.
There's Marvin the Martian, an alien who wants to be a feared villain but will resort to childish tendencies when other characters don't respect him as such.
Oh, goody. Another uranium Pu-36 explosive space modulator. Isn't that wonderful? Now we can blow up the Earth.
There's Pepe Le Pew, a skunk who wants love yet is too repulsive to receive it. There's Speedy Gonzales, a witty mouse who has the ability of super speed and is essentially one of the more heroic Looney Tunes characters.
I like this pussycat fellow. He's silly.
There's the Tasmanian Devil, a savage beast that only speaks in gibberish.
What's up, Dad? Ow! Put me down, you baggy-eyed devil.
There's Tweety Bird, a character who looks at the world through childlike innocence, no matter the danger.
I thought I tore a putty cat. I thought I tore another putty cat.
There's Yosemite Sam, a cowboy with severe anger issues who is so masculine that his mustache takes up the majority of his face.
Boom, you stupid rabbit! Like this!
There's Sylvester, who... Okay, I like this character, but his personality is really hard to pin down. The best conclusion I could come to is Sylvester's personality is cat. That's Sylvester's personality, cat. Then of course there's the two most popular characters in the Looney Tunes catalog. Daffy Duck, who started out as a character that was just flat out crazy.
I'm a cowboy, yes sir I am. Yes sir I am a cowboy, yes sir I am. I'm a cowboy, yes sir I am. Yes sir I am a cowboy. Yee-hee!
However, Daffy transformed into a prideful duck that wants glory, which most of the time blows up in his face.
Oh, indubitably, sir. because there's no one knows his way around outer space like Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
Because I understand Daffy Duck. Everybody understands Daffy Duck because all of the mistakes you make are the kind of mistakes he made. I think what you have to do is find a character like that, expand him out, and he becomes very believable.
Then, of course, there's this guy.
Oh my God! It's Bugs Bunny!
Bugs Bunny is a character centered around getting revenge on the ones that provoke him. Bugs will also often use cartoon logic to his advantage to get what he wants, and in Looney Tunes, cartoon logic means no logic.
He has to be provoked, and we learned that. It was very important that he be provoked, because otherwise he'd be a bully.
And then there's a bunch of other characters like Granny, Charles the Dog, Hector the Bulldog, Witch Hazel, Gossamer, Beaky Buzzard, Cecil Turtle, Cool Cat.
He's just a cool cat. He's no
That music is awful.
That all being said, you can't make characters without people to make those characters come to life. Of course, when talking about the behind-the-scenes work of Looney Tunes, it's impossible to not mention Mel Blanc. This man is a voice-acting legend. Mel Blanc was the primary voice actor for the vast majority of Looney Tunes characters. It's also crazy to me that he was able to make each character sound distinct. Bugs Bunny has a Brooklyn accent, Daffy and Sylvester have lisps where they pronounce S sounds with a TH, Porky Pig has a stutter, Foghorn Leghorn has a bluesy southern accent, Speedy Gonzales has a fast-talking Spanish accent, Tweety is high-pitched, and the Tasmanian Devil just makes weird noises.
How'd you get into the cartoon business? I mean, doing the voices.
Well, I went to the man who was in charge. It was Schlesinger Cartoons.
Right.
And he was in charge of hiring voices. And I said, look, won't you give me an audition? Listen to me. He says, no, I'm sorry. We have all the voices we need. Well, I was as persistent as he was, and I kept going back every 2 weeks to this guy for a year and a half. And he gave me the same story. We have all the voices we need. Finally, this guy died.
Then there's the directors. Despite mostly using the same cast of characters, each director had a very defined style. Chuck Jones emphasized visuals with vibrant colors, expressionist backgrounds, visual gags, and facial expressions.
I don't want to get mixed up in no mutiny.
Friz Freleng emphasized rhythm and musicality with actions that synced to the music and gags that seemed to follow a distinct beat.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Robert Clampett emphasized humor with zaniness, quirk, cynicism, and subverting audience expectations.
That'll hold 'em all white.
Lastly, Robert Mickelson emphasized characters with their motivations, personalities, features, and relationships with each other.
Pay attention, Sonny. Somewhere. Chicken? Chicken! Oh, yes, there's a chicken. I say there's a chicken for you. This boy doesn't pay attention. Nice four-legged chicken.
Then, of course, there's the comedy. Arguably, one of the most recognizable comedy styles in Looney Tunes is slapstick, or physical comedy. The best example of this kind of humor would be in the Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. All the jokes in the shorts must be nonverbal because the Coyote and Roadrunner don't talk. In my opinion, there's three things that make the slapstick comedy in these shorts funny. One, it often subverts audience expectations. 2, the coyote should be long dead, so the fact that he survives from this just makes it funnier. 3, using the animation formats to over-exaggerate action.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep. Meep, meep.
Then there's breaking of the fourth wall. I imagine many people are already aware of this technique, but I'll touch on it just in case. It's basically when a character addresses the audience directly, which breaks the illusion that this is anything more than just a story. It's unexpected, which can therefore make people laugh. Some of my favorites are this.
Sit down. There's a duck in here. Sit down.
And this.
Look, out there in the audience.
People!
Oh, and this one's gold.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Many of the shorts are also built around satire and poking fun at the pop culture of the time. Looney Tunes would satirize popular films at the time, famous stories, politics, famous celebrities, and classical music. Speaking of music, Looney Tunes is pretty well known for using music to heighten a joke. Now, the comedy isn't the music itself, it's more from the way the music is used in context of what's being shown on screen. You see this in Rabbit of Seville as Bugs Bunny's haircutting of Elmer is synced up with the music. There's the short One Froggy Evening, a story told completely without dialogue, with one exception.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Oh, and of course, What's Opera Doc, which you really just have to see for yourself.
Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Then there's surrealism used for comedy. I feel like some people can forget how truly weird these cartoons got at times. Look no further than the shorts Porky in Wacky Land and Duck Amuck if you want to see some truly bizarre shit.
All right. Let's get this picture started. No!
Now, being surreal doesn't always mean showing something unusual. Sometimes it can just be breaking the storytelling rules that you've already established. For example, in the shorts The Windblown Hare, it starts out as a Three Little Pigs cartoon, until Bugs reminds the wolf of Little Red Riding Hood.
Hey, I'm late. I didn't even take care of Grandma yet. Come on, Grandma, get a move on. Get out of here. Hit the bricks. Come on, beat it. Get going. Make it snappy, kid. Vamoose, scram!
Land sakes, Wolfie, ain't you gonna eat me?
Ain't got time, Grandma. Now, come on, get moving. Come on, shake a leg. Hit the road.
Or like when the Tasmanian Devil gets injured and just randomly talks in sophisticated English.
What for you bury me in the cold, cold ground?
And another thing that some people forget about these cartoons, dark humor. There's this moment in Rhapsody Rabbit. There's the ending of Drafty Daffy.
Oh, well, anyway, I sure put it over on that dope from the draft board.
Oh, well, now, I wouldn't say that.
No!
There's the short Rebel Rabbit where Bugs Bunny tries to become public enemy number 1, and then does this.
South America, take it away!
Furthermore, despite primarily being a comedy series, Looney Tunes would change it up every once in a while. Sometimes there will be a short that makes you sad, like Feed the Kitty. Sometimes there will be a short that's spooky, like Scaredy Cat. Sometimes a short will purposefully have an unhappy ending. There's even the short called Birds Anonymous, a short where Sylvester joins the club Birds Anonymous to cure his addiction of eating birds. Do I even need to point out the allegory here? Tackling mature subjects and different emotions keeps things fresh. It shows that Looney Tunes was a series willing to experiment and push the boundaries.
And the only way that you can exercise the mind is by bringing new ideas to it, so it'll be surprised and say, God, I didn't know that. That's the greatest thing in the world. Gee, I didn't know that. And there you are, you know?
That experimentation and boundary pushing is what makes Looney Tunes still stand out and hold up all these years later. Warner Brothers easily could have just copied what Disney and MGM were doing with their shorts, but they didn't. The people behind Looney Tunes pushed animation and comedy to its most extreme, wild, and absurd. That's probably why many artists have sang their praises of Looney Tunes over the years.
I think I just appreciated just the bombast, the absolute zany, chaotic, approach that Daffy had to the world.
Pepe's one of my favorites just simply because he is relentless. He's what you want your agent to be.
Doing the unexpected is a lot of what makes these cartoons work.
Chuck's facial expressions were the best in the business because he was a minimalist.
What can I say in the face of such humiliating evidence? I stand guilty before the world of directing over 300 cartoons in the last 50 or 60 years. Hopefully, this means you've forgiven me.
Now sure, I could have spent some time talking about Tiny Toons, Space Jam, Back in Action, The Looney Tunes Show, Baby Looney Tunes, or New Looney Tunes. And there are some cartoons that haven't aged well, whether that be for racism, sexism, or being war propaganda. However, I mainly wanted to focus on the original series and what made it so special. And also because every time I tried to add those things, it interrupted the flow of the video, so I cut them out. Anyways, here's whatever this is.
Confidentially, I could use some Coke.
Coke? Gracious me, Bugs, you're really coming up in the world.
Elmer, just the guy I wanted to see. I've been going on my mind for 2 days. I'm all strung out. If I don't get some Benny, I'm gonna sprout wings.